So we are gearing up towards another St. Patrick's Day, and I guess we might as well gear up with another St. Patrick's Day episode. So we're gonna do something from season 2 from the real Ghostbusters in an episode called The Scaring of the Green. Should be some very fantastic ways to celebrate St. Patrick's Day in here, so let's go check it out, eh? Yeah, alright, let's go. Alright, so this is a 1987 episode from season 2 called The Scaring of the Green. So this one starts off with the Ghostbusters and a ghost crashing a party at a swanky event in a New York hotel. The event is hosted by Mayor Lenny for all the prominent Irish voters out there, because tomorrow in the story is St. Patrick's Day, so you gotta do that. Get those votes in. Now Peter got freaked out for a second and accidentally destroyed the dress of the mayor's wife. So they're not happy, and the Ghostbusters wind up in jail. So nice little touch about Ghostbusters in jail, because we've seen that already in the movies. So Deputy Police Chief O'Malley comes down to the jail cells to meet up with the Ghostbusters and says, "Hey lads, I have this problem. If you guys can help me out with it, I'll totally drop all the charges against you and you're totally free. What do you think about that?" So they're hip to it. What's the problem? And O'Malley says, "Well, you see, way back in the day, one of my ancestors stole a pot of gold from a leprechaun, and this leprechaun cursed the family. The curse being, on every full moon on a St. Patrick's Day, the boghound will rise from the Irish bogs and drag away the clan leader of the O'Malley clan." And of course, you guessed it, Deputy Police Chief O'Malley is the clan leader currently. So he's freaked out because it's gonna be a full moon tomorrow, St. Patrick's Day, right? One thing that kind of bugs me about this show sometimes is an instance here when O'Malley's talking about leprechauns and pot of gold. Egon and Ray and the other guys are incredibly skeptical, to the point where they think O'Malley is crazy. Leprechauns with pots of gold? That doesn't exist. But how could they ever say that? The amount of folklore creatures they've had to go up against is staggering. They went up against the Sandman, the Boogeyman, Cthulhu. Heck, they even went up against the Banshee. So how could you possibly say that believing in leprechauns is crazy? Based on their experience, it's crazy not to believe it. But anywho. So yeah, they want out of prison, so they say, yeah, whatever you say, man. Totally believe ya. We'll solve this for ya. So O'Malley says the only way to stop this creature is to show it a 4-leaf clover. No further explanation of how that works, you know? Is the dog really that unlucky? I don't know. So Ray, Winston, and Peter go out looking for a 4-leaf clover, whereas Egon is like, well, you know, this is stupid. We have proton packs, we have ghost traps. I'm not gonna listen to some stupid superstition. I'm gonna trust my scientifically proven equipment. But even Ray calls him out on that, and even uses the Tobin Spirit Guide against him. There is a chapter in there talking about the botanical specific avoidance and spectral manifestations. Tobin's Spirit Guide is basically Egon's Bible. He's always referencing it. He's always trying to find solutions with it. So why do you just avoid it all of a sudden? So I only mention that because throughout this series as a whole, they have always been really awesome in explaining everything surrounding every folklore manifestation that they've encountered. So for Egon to completely skip this over and not really have a whole lot of explanation surrounding the folklore kinda sticks out like a sore thumb. Although, in the real world surrounding the folklore, I don't think there is anything regarding a 4-leaf clover. So maybe Egon's right to diss this whole piece of information. So anywho, so the dog did actually leave Ireland and is in New York right now, doing dog things. You know, like taking naps, chasing cars, chewing on things, instead of his task of, you know, dragging the clan leader away. Also, we see here with the boghound, he has like the cutest little toes. They look like kitty cat toes. They're so cute. Meow, 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 bark, bark. Oh, now it's recording. Oh, so now you know my secret. I am one of those animal lovers. Good. Egon does meet up with the dog and he can't handle it, so he takes off, and Peter does find a 4-leaf clover, so like the day should be saved, right? Wrong. Why? Because of Slimer. He sees a 4-leaf clover, and of course, this makes no sense to me, man. Of course he has to eat it. Why? Why, Slimer? Why? Even watching the show as a kid, I always had to kind of scratch my head, because I was like, how is Slimer constantly eating? We've seen in the movie that booze just goes right through him. Sure, he wants to eat and drink, but it's like in the show he has a working ghost digestive system? Because that makes no sense. But it's the only thing that does make sense in this show. He gets full, even though he doesn't need to eat. Like, and where does all this food go, right? Like, is he potty trained? Because then you'd have a slimy toilet all the time. That just sucks. Anywho, so now it's St. Patrick's Day, and of course there is the St. Patrick's Day parade going on in New York, and of course the New York Police Department is in the parade, because you gots to. So that's when the Bog Hound attacks, because O'Malley's out in the open. But the boys are there to kind of help him out, and when a dog does attack, they kind of keep him away. But, yeah, it doesn't go so well. As Ray, Winston, and O'Malley are cornered by the Bog Hound, Peter thinks he's gonna save the day because he found a 4-leaf clover, but it turns out it's a plastic pin, so, this curse doesn't work with synthetics. Come on! But as Peter's running away from the hound, Egon sets up a trap in the dog's path, and whoop, the dog is gone. In the trap, in the containment unit, the day is saved, O'Malley's family is safe because its curse is over, or at least its curse is trapped, unless there's another Bog Hound? You know a Bog Hound's kids? Probably not, yeah. But now that debacle is over, it's time to St. Patrick's Day party, and I might do just that. But with no green dye in my beverages, and that's that. I guess that's technically a St. Patrick's Day episode. It does take place on St. Patrick's Day, but it's just mostly a real Ghostbusters episode with a lot of Irish references in it. Like Leprechaun, Pot of Gold, 4-leaf clover, O'Malley, stuff like that. But it also does feature the legend of the Black Dog. However, they changed the name from Black Dog to the Bog Hound, mostly because it sounded cooler. It does sound pretty hardcore. There are lots of folklores in and around Ireland about the Black Dog, or other dogs as well. This one being about the Black Dog. It's a nocturnal apparition, which some lore states that it's a shapeshifter, or it's the devil, or any kind of ghost that's kind of needed for a certain tale, I guess. The Black Dog was featured in the classic Sherlock Holmes tale, The Hound of the Baskervilles. And that might be a bit of inspiration as to why Egon was so skeptical about things surrounding the Bog Hound, because Sherlock Holmes was always skeptical about the dog's existence in the first place, and everything surrounding the dog with its overall lore, and with the stories that he was investigating. So Egon was also very skeptical about the lore surrounding the dog. Only difference is, the dog actually exists in the real Ghostbusters, and it didn't with Sherlock Holmes. I guess that's a Sherlock spoiler. Or maybe the dog did exist with Sherlock, I don't know, read the book. It is a good book, by the way. The appearance of the Bog Hound in this episode is a cross between the Black Dog as well as the Terror Dogs from the original Ghostbusters movie. So a nice little blending of two ideas here. This episode is also neat in the fact that we've seen some other recurring characters, mainly Mayor Lenny and an investigator for the New York Police Department in Lieutenant Frump. It is still a classic real Ghostbusters story. I wouldn't say it's the best story they've done. It is still pretty good, even with some of its head-scratching moments, as I've stated earlier, but still, all in all, definitely check it out. Right on, and there you go. So thanks for watching the video. I hope you liked it as much as I did making it. Also, feel free to check out the source material that I featured in this video. And if you want to leave a comment on anything you may have liked or things I might have missed in this, feel free to do so. Or anything else, just to say hi. That's cool too. And other than that, have a great day. Thanks.